Hello everyone, it's Yuddha Prasad Patel, a student of MSc Physics 4th semester from Government TCL PG College Jangir, and in this presentation we are going to talk about alpha decay. So alpha decay is a process in which a large nuclei spontaneously disintegrates into a smaller nuclei and an alpha particle. Rutherford showed that alpha particles are helium nuclei. Therefore, in this process, parent nuclei loses 4 nucleons, its mass decreases by 4 AMU and charge by +2. Here we have an animation of alpha decay. A large nuclei is decayed into a daughter nuclei and an alpha particle. Alpha particle has mass number of 4 AMU and charge of +2. It is basically helium nuclei. For example, uranium 238 undergoes alpha decay and it decayed into thorium 234. According to Soddy Fusion displacement law, the new atom is shifted 2 groups lower in the periodic table. Alpha decay is usually happen for large size nuclei or the nuclei usually having mass number greater than 210. So the question rises, why alpha decay occurs for heavy nuclei? To understand why alpha decay occurs, we need to know about the nature of the nuclear force. So the nucleus is held together by the nuclear force. However, there is another force that exists within the nucleus, and that is Coulombic repulsion. So the Coulombic repulsion usually exists between proton-proton pairs and it is trying to break apart the nucleus, while the nuclear force is an attractive force that is existing between both protons and neutrons, and it is trying to hold the nucleus together. The nuclear force is much more powerful as compared to the Coulombic repulsion, but only for the short distances. So the nuclear force is the strongest in the distances around 1 femtometer to 3 femtometer. So whenever we have a nucleus which is small in size or mid-range in size, in those cases the nucleons are attracted to its nearest neighbors via the nuclear force, and it easily dominates the Coulombic repulsion. This is the reason why we do not see alpha decay processes in small or medium sized nuclei. However, as we keep adding nucleons inside the nucleus and as the nucleus size becomes larger and larger, a very interesting thing happens. Now, if we look at the Coulombic repulsion, they can exist between two nearest neighboring protons as well as it can exist between two protons on the extreme ends of the nucleus. Because Coulombic repulsion has a range of infinity, it can exist from 0 up to infinity. However, nuclear force are the most dominant only in the ranges of distances around 1 femtometer to 3 femtometer. So, whenever we have a nucleon, it is attracted via the nuclear force only with its nearest neighboring nucleons. So, when we look at a large size nucleus, the nuclear force exists locally holding all the nucleons together with its nearest neighboring nucleons. However, when the size of the nucleus becomes too large, this local nuclear force, which is holding the nearest neighboring nucleons together and as a result holding the entire nucleus together, is unable to dominate over the Coulombic repulsion, which now becomes larger and larger because of the increasing number of protons. So a particular side limit is reached, beyond which if the size of the nucleus grows, then the Coulombic repulsion automatically dominates over the nuclear force and tries to break apart the nucleus. This is also the reason why we do not see an infinite number of elements in our universe. We only see around 100 or 110 sort of stable nuclear configurations in the periodic table. We do not see a stable nuclear configuration having 200 atomic number, because that sort of size of the nucleus which is stable is not possible because of the Coulombic repulsion dominate over the nuclear force in those distances. This is the reason why alpha decay happens. When nuclear size becomes larger and larger, they become more and more unstable, and the only way to become stable is to decrease its size. So whenever a large nucleus is unstable and it wants to become stable, it automatically tends to decrease its size by releasing some of the excess neutrons and protons, which comes off in the form of alpha decay. So alpha decay helps a large size nucleus which is unstable to become stable by decreasing its size by releasing an alpha particle in the process. So in this way alpha decay happens. The amount of energy released in alpha decay process is known as the disintegration energy, are the Q value of alpha decay. Here, I have represented an alpha decay equation where X is the parent nuclei, Y is daughter nuclei, A is the mass of the parent nuclei, and Z is the atomic number of parent nuclei, with Q is the disintegration energy or the Q value of this alpha decay process. The energy released in alpha decay process purely happens because of a result of mass defect. So if we calculate the mass of the daughter nuclei and the mass of the alpha particle, and if we calculate the mass of the parent nuclei, we will find that the mass of the parent nuclei is greater. So the mass defect involved between left hand side and right hand side comes out as energy, which is given as the mass energy equivalence formula, that is energy equals mass defect multiplied by c square, and this energy is mostly given as the kinetic energy of alpha particle. Now we will discuss some properties of alpha particles. The alpha particles are helium nuclei with 2 units of positive charge and mass of 4 AMU. Alpha particles are positively charged, hence they can be deflected by electric and magnetic field. Alpha particles ionize the medium through which they pass. Their ionization power is much higher than the beta and gamma rays. Alpha particles have zero spin and positive intrinsic parity. Naturally occurring alpha emitters emit alpha particles with energy in the range of 5 mega electron volt to 10 mega electron volt. Alpha particles, when fall on certain materials like zinc sulfide, barium platinocyanide, etc., emit flashes of light. This is called the scintillation. This property of scintillation was initially used to detect the alpha particles. So in this video we have discussed all about alpha decay. I will see you in the next video.